Does anybody know what augmented reality is? Has anybody ever seen it? I bet you have. You just don't realize it. So we're starting with a reading program. Okay, so we're looking at beginning reading. Do we have any elementary, pre-K, kindergarten? Parents, all right, woo! Okay, so when we start to teach reading, we actually, and just like any other subject, we always bring up flashcards. So, what letter?
D.
D. I. Yes, go ahead. Come on.
That's P.
P, good. All right. So, but really, a lot of times when we look at flashcards, we tend to learn by rote, right? Alphabet, multiplication. We do a lot of rote learning. But what augmented reality does, it kind of brings everything, makes connections. So we know what letter this is, but our kids make a big connection knowing that this is an H right here, and this is Henry Horse. And so now when we say, well, what letter is this? The kids are going to say what? It's H, exactly. And Henry's got some friends. So here's the frog. I know, he's cute. It's the only frog I'll touch. Yeah, at this point. The elephant. And we can turn these. So we can kind of, I know. So we can see the elephant and everything with the elephant. Right? But, and let's bring Gertie up here because we like Gertie. Okay. So now we're in the process of teaching the kids, and they're now making the connections that not only is this a giraffe, her name is Gertie, but we can also start looking at the letters. So now we're at the letter G, right? And so we can even pick up the letter G, and we can change the case to lowercase. There we go, right? So we have lowercase g, but on top of that, part of teaching sounds, we need to know what the letter is.
The letter G.
And we need to be able to hear the sound. Now, G has two sounds, right? Tell me what the sounds are for G. G, right? And J. Very good. So we have J, and we have G. So these, not only are we looking at the letter G, but we're also listening to the sound. So we're helping to promote the reading. But then, once we've introduced all the letters, we need to move on to sight words. Because sight words is a big, important part of the reading process. So we're going to build some sentences using some of the sight words. So we're going to start with the. And we're going to use Gertie. So we have Gertie, giraffe, can. And we're going to kind of look at some of the things that Gertie can and can't do. And one of them that we know that Gertie can do is Gertie needs to eat to survive. So there's Gertie. She's eating. Will you eat every day?
Yeah.
And then we can hear the sentence.
The giraffe can eat.
So not only are we seeing the words up here, but the kids are hearing the sentence, and that's a big part of it because you have auditory learners and you have visual learners, and so they need to have both. They need to be able to make the connections. And let's see what else. Let's see, can Gertie jump?
Jump.
No, Gertie can't jump. How about swimming? Do we think Gertie can swim?
Swim.
She can swim. How about run? Do we think Gertie can run?
Run.
Boy, you know Gertie well. Gertie can run. How about fly?
Fly.
Probably not. But let's find somebody who can fly. Let's see. How about Tommy Toucan? Do we think Tommy Toucan can fly?
Can.
Come on. Fly. Here he goes. He can fly. But then we can also change the orientation of the sentence. So we can change it from actually being a sentence to being a question. So here we go. We'll go. Can.
Can.
The. Toucan.
Fly.
Fly. So notice that before it made the can capital, and we have the question mark for fly, for the question that it is. Exactly. We can also change the character of the animal itself. So we're going to use the bear. He's scary, right?
Is.
Let's see.
Red.
I know. So we can change the color of the bear. Let's see what else we can change it to. What other color? Let's try yellow.
Yellow.
Very cool, huh? So we have all these great things, the sight words, and kids can make the connections. But sometimes we also want to just talk about the animal in general, and maybe the habitat or the environment that the animal is in. So we have a video, right? And you can see the animal that's in his habitat. Yeah. So now I can tell them that, that this is a bear, and this is what the bear usually does. He eats, he swims, he plays in the water. So this is augmented reality, and it's a very cool way to teach reading. But on top of that, we also have curriculum that we've developed for that very purpose of teaching reading. The lessons are that are in here, we have divided up by unit or by lesson, and they are to the Common Core State Standards. They help to promote phonomic awareness as well as phonics-based curriculum. Each one of these, for instance, this is a unit on farm animals alive. We have all of the animals that are involved in the farm. The word families that it's covering as well as the sight words. So each one of these represents a unit and the lesson that's inside of that unit. The lesson itself looks very similar to this here. So this one is H. The word family is an, as in can, man, fan, ran, pan, plan, and dan. And then we have the sight words that are involved with this lesson. Each lesson is divided up so that you know the day that you want to teach the lesson and the pacing guide and how long it'll take to teach that lesson. All of the lessons have a story involved with each of the animals. So here is an example of Henry Horse's story. And these are all printable. These are all digital copies, so they can be printed and given to the kids. Every one of them has a activity sheet. This one here is a letter sound activity sheet. We have the comprehension activity sheet, sight word activity sheet, handwriting. So they all have handwriting that go along with it. Okay. As well as a coloring sheet and the family word activity sheet. So all of these are part of each individual lesson. Also, what comes with Letters Alive is obviously the 26 alphabet cards, 94 sight words. They're the Dolch sight words for both pre-K and kindergarten, and within those words are 12 action words and 7 color words. Tutorial card can be placed down onto the mats for how to get started with Letters Alive. The video card is included. The video card will bring up a habitat. The freeze cards are When you introduce the animal or the letter, then the freeze card can be then hung up on the bulletin board to be taken down just before the fire marshal comes. Right? The neoprene mat or pad is also part of it. It's very important because it needs to have the correct spacing as well as where the cards are going to go, because if you have your kids come up, you want to have them put them exactly in the right place so they can be tracked by the camera. All of this that's digital as well as the software program is found on the dongle. So the AR software as well as the files, and it is an encrypted dongle. So the price for Letters Alive, this box standalone is $5.95. We recommend with a 3-cam, and so we have a bundle with a 3-cam. It's $8.90 with Letters Alive as well as the camera. And then because of the software requirements, we also have a bundle that includes an HP ProBook, and that's $15.25. And for the sound system, because sound is an important part of the classroom, so that you can, hear the sentences being said, and you can also hear anything else, what sounds the animals make, sounds of the letters. Sound is important, and this one, the educational pricing is $3.25. So, if you have any questions on Letters Alive, feel free to ask.